Hey, hi everybody. Welcome. I am just letting people in here. Let me just make sure we are all set. Let's see, we have a few people on. I know we have a lot of people signed up for the replay of this. So if you have to hop off for any reason, there will be a replay sent out afterwards. Just make sure that you check your inbox/spam box, because that's unfortunately a lot of times where emails end up. But I'm so excited to be chatting with many of you today who are on this live call all about maximizing your results with nutrition. I do recommend sticking around until the end because I have something fun and exciting to share with you that I haven't really told many people about yet. Some of my clients know about it, but some exciting news. So stick around. I am going to get started here. Let's see, we're a few minutes past, so make sure no one else is coming in. Here's another person. All right, well, we are going to get started. So as everyone knows, we're chatting all about maximizing your results with nutrition today. And when I say maximizing your results, I mean your results from working out, because now we're in the new year. Happy New Year, everybody. Everybody is focused, or I should say most people are focused on their health and their wellness. So many individuals are going to the gym now. They're staying accountable. They have accountability buddies. They're seeing a dietitian. This time of year, everyone is specifically very focused. And my goal as a dietitian is to help guide people in their eating habits, to keep them accountable, and also to maximize their results. People work so hard a lot of the times without seeing results. So my goal is to help my clients to see the best results that they can. So what I'm going to be chatting with you about today is about how to incorporate nutrition in combination with the workouts that you are doing. So I know there are a lot of familiar faces who are signed up for the webinar, but there are a lot of new people here. So I just wanted to reintroduce myself to you. My name is Allison Tallman. I'm a registered dietitian and the founder of Nourished Roots. We help clients to ditch fad dieting and counting calories for good. So if you are right now starting a new diet, I know a lot of you are doing like Whole30 or things like that. I highly recommend not doing that and instead scheduling a discovery call with me, and I can help you to outline what you should be doing and really a plan to see results without dieting, because it will not work. I help my clients to feel freedom from diet culture, build a healthy relationship with food, to feel confident in their food choices, to understand nutrition in general, because I know there's a lot of information out there. I'm on Instagram, I'm on TikTok. I see all the people recommending information that is just straight up false. So I help my clients to feel that full clarity. I also help my clients to increase strength, muscle, energy, and so much more. I wanted to point out my website really quickly to you guys, which is nourishedroots.com, because a lot of people in the new year, as I said, are focused on their health and wellness. And I have a lot of recipes on my website, a lot of like quick and easy meal prep recipes and one-pan recipes that a lot of you are seeking this time of year. So go check that out there. And then hopping right on in. So we're going to talk all about nutrition and exercise today. So hydration, pre-workout nutrition, post-workout nutrition, timing of your fuel. And then I will be taking questions at the end. So if you do have any questions, you can put them in the chat box and I'll answer them at the end, or you can feel free to keep them for then. And then, as I mentioned, I do have something fun to share with you. So stick around. In general, as a dietitian, I get lots of questions, but really three big overarching tips that I give to individuals are, when people say, what diet should I be following? You really want to consume a wide variety of nutrient-dense foods within all food groups. So again, these are really overarching conditions here, but enjoy all foods, don't avoid carbs. You should be eating lots of different like colorful things, maybe not like the same food each night for dinner, for example. Secondly, there is more than one way to eat healthy. This time of year, we see a lot of like trends on Instagram, like this is what I eat in my day. And like I post things that I eat, but what I eat should be very different than what you eat, because we all have different goals. We all have different past medical histories, genetics. lots more. So no person, lifestyle, or eating habit should look the same. Third, a lot of us could really benefit from reducing sources of added sugar. Added sugar is on the nutrition label now. So things like junk food, like cookies, things like that, while they can be incorporated, like I eat those all the time, but you should be considering like your everyday food items, like your granola bars, your cereal, things that are giving you a purpose in your everyday fuel. You should be limiting added sugar, saturated fat, and alcohol within your diet. I know quite a few of you might be doing dry January right now, for example. So we're going to shift gears now here into exercise and nutrition. So really what you should think of when you think of exercise and sports nutrition is that food fuels our body. So it literally fuels our body for our workouts, and it fuels our body even after a workout for tomorrow's workout. So exercise nutrition, so food that fuels your body before, during, and after your workout. That's really like the overarching definition we're going to use. Food aids in recovery timing. So those who eat, this is all research based, just as an FYI, I do have references at the end. Research shows that those who properly fuel their body are going to have less of a recovery time afterwards, less muscle soreness. There's also less chance of like injury as well when you're properly fueling your body. It can improve your performance and muscle development. And it may mean the difference between feeling sluggish, like before a workout and after, versus feeling at your like optimal energy levels. So one little asterisk here for you guys is that recommendations will vary depending on your athletic level and activity. For example, like years ago, I was actually working with some professional athletes. Those recommendations would be very, very different than someone who is a runner, for example, versus someone who's doing CrossFit. I will be giving like general recommendations here, but I wanted to let you guys know that. So first up, hydration. So the minimum amount you should be consuming per day, and this is always a reminder I like to give, if you do have a water right next to you, take a sip of it. Consume a minimum of 64 ounces of water per day, which is about 8 glasses. You could also think of it as half of your body weight in pounds in fluid ounces. So for example, if you weigh 150 pounds, that would be about 75 fluid ounces per day. That water intake does include carbonated water, so like seltzer water, coffee, and tea. Although I don't recommend getting your like 8 cups of water in through like tea or coffee, for example. So hydrating for extended exercise. So if your workout lasts longer than an hour, or if you are an excessive sweater, you want to make sure that you're hydrating during the workout. So for example, if you're running a half marathon, if you're running a full marathon, Ironman, whatever it is, you should be consuming water. During those times, technically, research shows you should be consuming 8 ounces every 20 minutes. I don't think I could do that during, for example, like an Orange Sherry class. So what I always say is make sure you're consuming water before, and then immediately after, drink a glass of water. And then during the workout, if you're working out for like an hour, sip on water the entire time. You can also think of like water-rich fruits and veggies as being helpful. So that's why as a kid, we had like oranges during soccer, because that was a way to like get us water as well as some vitamin C, for example. But those can also really help to hydrate you, and a lot of people don't think about that. So once an individual loses 2% of their body mass from fluid losses, impairments in performance are noticeable, and these impairments become more extreme with greater levels of hydration. So the overarching thing about this is that every 2.2 pounds a person loses equates to 1 liter loss of fluid. Basically, you want to make sure that you are consuming adequate water so that you're not becoming dehydrated. One way you could think about hydration is actually looking at like your pee, which may seem funny to talk about on a webinar, but this actually can tell if you are hydrated or not. So you can assess your hydration based on this, because I think there's not a ton of ways for us to figure out if we're hydrated. really like objectively. I think subjectively, you could think of like, am I hungry? Am I thirsty? You're not really sure, but pee is really an objective way to tell. So the darker your urine is, the more dehydrated you are. So you really want to make sure that you are lower on the scale here. And one thing to note too is, especially if you're like traveling a lot, I have a lot of clients who travel for work, for example, your hydration needs actually vary based on where you're located. So if you're in a climate with more humidity, your body isn't able to evaporate its sweat as easily and therefore requires more water intake. Versus a dry climate, your body is able to easily evaporate its sweat. So if anyone here lives in Nashville like myself, like the humidity is awful here, you should be consuming more water intake while it is humid out. And one thing to think about is, should I be drinking sports drinks? A lot of people always ask me, should I be consuming a Gatorade or some other thing? And I can send out my choice that I recommend to my clients, but typically for most individuals, electrolyte replacements are just not needed. I think most of us here are likely working out for like max an hour per day. In that case, you don't really need electrolytes during the workout or after. You need the post-workout nutrition, which we'll get into. However, if you have extended exercise, if you become dehydrated easily, if you sweat a ton, maybe you're working out in like a more humid environment, then maybe you might need it. And again, I can send you the one that I usually recommend to my clients. So I'd love to hear from you guys about your water intake. If you want to put it in the chat box, how many glasses, you can feel free to direct message it to me if you don't want to share it with the group, or you can message it to everybody. But I'd love to hear what you guys are consuming per day. Are you drinking 8 glasses? Are you drinking more? Drinking less? And someone did ask me, will the recording be sent out to attendees? Yes, it will be. Just make sure you check your spam folder though. Someone said 2 Stanley cups. I think I need to get one of those things. Stanley cups are very trendy right now, and I think it helps a lot of you drink more water. Someone else said, I drink a crap ton of water. I love it. 8 glasses. Forget to drink on busy days. 100 to 120. Not enough, probably close to 32 ounces. So it seems like everybody's all over the place. This is your reminder to try and get the 8 in a day. For those of you who said that you don't drink enough, or you don't drink enough on busy days, having a glass like the second you get up and making an effort to drink a full glass like while you're winding down for the day can be helpful, because you're getting like 2 of your 8 out of there. So we're going to switch gears into the specifics for food now, more fun stuff. So some nutrition tips for pre-workout. So I do recommend avoiding eating right before your workout. I know this can be really difficult depending on the timing of your workout, and I'm not always the best with this, but eating too close to exercising can cause GI issues such as heartburn or even like diarrhea during your run or whatever workout you're doing. This, I will say, some people can deal a little bit better with and some people can, or it also might depend what you're eating. For example, I can easily eat an apple 10 minutes before a workout and feel just fine, versus if I was to eat like a bowl of oatmeal, I would probably just like feel kind of like not the best. So it kind of depends on yourself and your body. For optimal performance, you do want to be eating 1 to 3 hours prior. And this is to give your body really the time to digest. Now, I know so many of you, at least a lot of people I end up working with, might do like the 5 a.m., the 6 a.m., the 7 a.m. workout, and they're not going to wake up at like 2 a.m. to eat before their workout. So I understand that. That could be maybe the apple in the car on the way to the gym type of situation. If you can get something in, I do really recommend it, because carbs is what really gives your body the energy to work out. You do want to make sure you are choosing low to moderate fiber. Not that you want to avoid fiber altogether, but it is recommended to not eat a ton of fiber right before a workout, because again, fiber is something that takes a while to digest, and it can just make your stomach be a little upset when you're like on a treadmill. You want to limit protein actually. Like you can have a little bit of protein, such as a yogurt, but it shouldn't be your focus because it's not the ideal energy source before a workout. And you actually do want to limit fat as well because it slows your digestion down and it basically utilizes the fat before you use the carbohydrate source. So the function of carbs before a workout is that it helps your muscles and cells and also your brain function properly and prevent cramping. You do want to consume 15 to 30 grams of carbs prior. I don't count my carbs ever, but in terms of what this would look like, an apple or a piece of fruit is like 15 grams. One slice of toast is about 15 grams. So if you're having like a piece of toast, that'd be 15. If you're having a sandwich, it would be more like 30 grams. You want to skip sugary and processed carbs. You can eat complex carbs. Again, you just want to make sure that they are not going to be a big portion with that fiber. Skip the high fat proteins and choose lean proteins instead. So these are some ideas here. As you can see, there are things that still contain like protein, for example, such as like yogurt, peanut butter, hummus. However, the point of these is that the protein isn't your main focus. You're not eating like a protein shake. When I say oatmeal, I'm not eating like a really large cup of oatmeal. That being said, if you are eating like 3 hours before a workout, that's when oatmeal would be warranted. So that's why the timing really does depend when you're doing it. So for the post-workout nutrition tips, you want to eat immediately after. Eat or drink something immediately after. The ideal is you want to be eating, we'll go into this, protein and carbohydrates within an hour, max 2 hours. You want to hydrate with a cup of water because you've sweat out a lot of your body fluid. You want to combine carbs and protein. So carbs will replenish the energy that you just used, whereas protein replenishes your kind of your muscle stores, because during a workout, you're breaking down those muscle fibers, and consuming protein after ends up building the muscle fibers back together. So you want to combine those. And again, you still want to limit your fat because that can still slow down your digestion. So the Sports Medicine Institute recommends replenishing carbs within 15 minutes. I'm realistic. A lot of times after I work out, like I'll go run an errand or I'll go grocery shopping or something. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll have like an apple in the car after the workout, or I'll just wait till I'm home. That's why I always tell my clients like within an hour, max 2 hours, if you can. So again, complex carbs and lean protein is what your focus should be. And this helps to replenish those energy stores and your muscle fibers. So if you are looking to increase muscle mass, which a lot of you are, I know all the names and faces I saw on here, you want to make sure you guys have goals to increase your muscle. Therefore, you want to make sure you're really focusing on that protein. So that can also be something like a protein shake, which I know a lot of you like. So how much protein should you be having? You should be having at least 20 grams after a workout. I will admit it's hard to get 20 grams in unless you're doing like a giant steak, which I'm not doing after a workout. So 20 grams can be difficult. So say you're having, we'll go back to that oatmeal bowl after workout, instead of just having like oatmeal with milk and like some blueberries, you want to make sure you're adding a protein fat powder in there. You want to make sure you're adding a tablespoon of like nut butter or sun butter. That way you're getting multiple protein sources to get to that 20 grams. This is the daily recommended protein amount. I don't recommend really going off that though, to be honest, because all of you are going to be very different in terms of your protein needs. So see, there's a range here, which is why I recommend working with a registered dietitian to help you calculate that. And it is one thing to note, it is fine to have fiber after a workout. These are examples of what like 25 grams plus of protein might look like. So as you can see here, we have like quinoa actually has protein in it. Fun fact, beans, let's see, there's edamame beans, red kidney beans, steak, peanut butter. And A meal can be after your workout as well. Say you work out at the gym at like 5 p.m. and you get home and you're going to eat by like 6:30. It can be a meal. It doesn't need to be like a protein shake. Smoothie, you could have like yogurt. Chocolate milk is actually a great post-workout snack. Granola bars, as long as they have the right nutritional value in it. Crackers with like peanut butter, whole grain turkey or chicken wrap, cottage cheese, hard-boiled egg. So these are all like protein-focused things. I actually love using a protein supplement. I think it's like a really great way to get in protein without having to like eat a ton of food. And when I recommend protein powders to my clients, I actually don't recommend whey protein. I think as Americans, we get enough meat in our diet typically. So I recommend hemp or pea protein. So Orgain actually has one that I really like, which you can go to Orgain.com. You can actually use Nourished Roots for some money off, Nourished Roots code. But they have some great plant-based ones. And one that I buy myself is they have an unflavored option. And for that unflavored option, it just makes it very versatile. You can add it to anything. I add it to like overnight oats. I'll add it to my oat bowl. Like you can add it to yogurt, sauces, really anything. So that's why I like that, because I don't really like eating like sweet chocolatey things during the day, which I know there's a lot of things like that. Right. In conclusion, timing is crucial. You want to eat carbs before a workout. You want to eat carbs and protein after. You want to drink plenty of water. And one thing to note too, I know we didn't talk about like during exercise nutrition, so what that would look like today. That is because, again, we're focusing on kind of like the everyday workout for today's class. If you are running a half marathon, a marathon, you're doing like an Ironman, whatever it is, you are definitely going to need something mid-workout. So I recommend scheduling a discovery call really to chat about that. All right. And then before I take questions from you guys, I have a new quiz that I've created. It's called What's Your Eating Personality? So a lot of you this time of year in the new year really want to build healthy, balanced eating habits. So in order to do so, I've created this free quiz. It literally takes less than a minute to make. There's like 5 questions. And you'll learn what your eating personality is, and you'll receive guidance in how to build healthy eating habits that are realistic. So we'll give you insight into your eating habits, a plan on tackling barriers so you can reach your health goals. We'll give you recommendations on how to build balanced eating habits with ease. It's kind of fun to take. I made it like all my family members take it, for example. So I will send that in the chat. We go to everyone in the meeting. Here we go. And I will take questions now. You can feel free to direct message it to me. Someone said, I love Orgain. Yep, Orgain is really great. Trader Joe's also has like a pea protein powder that's pretty good too. Someone asked, do you recommend pre-workout? That's a good question. Usually no. You know, this is where the individualization comes into play in terms of my nutrition sessions. I always want to ask someone first, like, why do you think you need a pre-workout? And a lot of times they're like, maybe I don't have energy. So the reason why I ask why is because then I want to take a look at like, what are you eating? If you're not feeling energized throughout the day and you're really needing like a supplement, I'd rather have you focus on the food component first than do a pre-workout. And the food component is going to be cheaper for you as well. For the pre-workout, some people like love it. There is one I recommend. It's called Numa, and it does have caffeine and just like clean ingredients in it. But again, I don't recommend it for everybody or for most individuals. So someone said, is whey isolate okay? So again, whey, I don't recommend in general. If that's what you currently have on hand, then I'm not about food waste, and you can definitely use that until you run out of it. But I really recommend focusing more on plant-based. The there are potentially some negative effects of whey on like gastrointestinal issues. Some people have whey has been associated with like skin issues, for example, for like acne prone individuals. So I'm not, if you have whey, use it, but I would recommend switching once it's done. Good question. Someone said, I'm running a half marathon. What type of fuel do you recommend? Again, this in my one-on-one, we dive into creating a plan for you, but you do want to make sure you're eating some type of like sugar. There are a lot of like easy glucose gels and things like that you want to make sure you're eating every couple of hours. The thing about those, you just want to make sure that it's clean ingredients. There's not a ton of like artificial sweeteners or added sugars in there. So something that's like very clean. You could also eat a piece of fruit really quickly if like maybe you're not trying to get like your PR and like go really fast, I guess. But you want to eat something that is easy to digest. That's the biggest thing. So the glucose gels, as well as the like a piece of fruit. And someone actually said dates are great for running fuel. I actually love dates. I eat dates like I would say five times a week probably. What I'll do is I'll put a date with like peanut butter in it, and that's a great like pre-workout snack even. So yeah. Any other questions? All right. I wanted to thank everybody for coming today. Again, check out that quiz. I would love to see which type of eater you are. And it's just kind of fun, and it takes, again, no time to do. So I put that link in there. Here are some references if you guys want to check them out. And I wanted to thank everybody for coming today. I appreciate you all taking the time to commit to your health. If you have any questions, please reach out to me at info@nourished.com. I'm here to answer them. Like if you need any specific recommendations, things like that, I would love to chat with you. So thank you everyone so much, and I hope you have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Allie.